Welcome back to the American Garage. Let's take a minute and talk about painting with a spray gun. Okay, so let me let you in on a little secret. So I was gonna have my boat painted by a professional painter, and he was pretty busy and didn't have enough time to get around to it. And after 2 years waiting, I decided, okay, maybe I better just do it myself. Now, truth be told, I've never painted something this big before. Of course, you saw me painting before on the David Bradley project. I painted the tractor, but that's a small item, and other small items. And smaller items are easier to be successful with, of course. So this was my first time really trying to paint something large, like a car or a boat. I really intended to use our truck project to learn how to paint a large item like a boat or a truck. But the boat needed to be painted, the paint was here. Now, I didn't make a full episode, and I'm not showing you me actually painting the boat because, you know, every project I do doesn't make it onto the show, sorry to say. It takes me about 3 times longer to do something on camera than it does for me to just do it. So I wanted to show you the results. I'm actually surprised at how well it did come out. You can see a good reflection on the boat. So I can see my hand reflection in there really well. Now, there are some drips and things. So basically, I just want to give you a heads up of things to look for if you decide to do this. Number one, the first coat of paint is going to go on great. Okay? Now, I was spraying along with my paint gun, which I got right here, and I was just spraying along and watching as the blue goes over the primer. It made it really easy to see where I needed to slow down or speed up and what's been covered and what hasn't. So the first coat goes on pretty easy. The second coat is a little more of a challenge because now you're putting the same color over the same color and you have a lot easier potential for runs because of that, because you can't see what hasn't been covered yet because it all looks the same. Really good lighting does help with this. I put it out where I could see it in the sun so I could know where I was painting at. Now, even still, I got a couple runs on the other side of the boat, and I'm going to show those to you in a little bit. But this kind of paint is the kind of paint that can be color sanded and buffed. So I'll do a little episode on that later on. But really, I just wanted to give you a heads up. So the first coat of paint is going to go on great. The second coat of paint, you might get a couple of runs because you don't know exactly how fast or slow to be going as you're spraying along. And then the third coat, you're going to think, okay, I got this down. And then you're going to go and put a little too much somewhere. Like I had a fly that landed on the front of the boat in the paint, and he's crawling around in there. And I'm like, no! So I grab him out of the paint, and all of his little feet mark are in there, and I just take my spray gun and go, and just like that, just that little bit, and I gotta run, okay? So you get it right, and you don't touch it, okay? And then, so I gotta run there, I'll have to fix that one. And I got some runs on the other side because I wasn't really paying attention towards the end. You have to focus when you're painting something. So, if you want to try it, go ahead and try it. This was my first time, and amazingly, I'm surprised at how good it came out. But I'm going to let you have a look at it, and we'll talk about the quality of the spray job and how to fix it. The quality of the reflection ended up being really good. I used really good paint. It was expensive paint. You know, FYI, don't start with the most expensive paint for your first time. I got lucky. All right, so let's look at the quality of the reflection. And you can see the reflection of my hand here in the side of the boat. Now, what I noticed also, I don't know if you can see it real well, is that the quality of the image is really good when my hand's up close, but it gets blurrier as I pull my hand further away. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to color sand it so we get that mirror shine. We'll sand it with 1500 grit and then 2000 grit, and then we'll come in and polish it out and see if we can get a glassy shine. Not all areas turned out great, so let's look at a few of these drips. Now here you can see is where I overlapped a little too much and I got these nasty drips on the front. And here's where I couldn't see so well and I got too much paint under the top edge. Now don't worry about this because we'll be able to fix it with color sanding and polishing. In the next episode, we'll talk about how to color sand and buff and polish a newly painted item like this. Until next time, this is Steve from the American Garage.